Back again, everybody. They were talking about how narcissistic behavior can be so dangerous and destructive. For many of you, if you've dealt with a narcissist, had any type of encounter, whether it was through a transaction, relationship, friendship, coworker, associate, whatever it may have been, the behaviors of these narcissistic types of individuals tend to go too far in most of the interactions. Most of this is based off their sense of entitlement and feeling as though they can do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it without any repercussions. Some of you may have wondered what I was posting the video of with the Carly Russell story. I'm not saying that she's a narcissist or anything yet because I don't know her specifically. And I don't know, I don't have enough insight to know her background and anything like that. I'm only going by the consistency of the behaviors of individuals that behave in a certain way that meet the profile of the behavior. And within that behavior of what I've seen, at least, some of those things are indeed, in fact, consistent with narcissistic type of behaviors. Right? Many times, as you know, narcissists will go to great lengths to justify their reasonings for doing things which totally uncalled for, way out of line, way out of bounds, and feel perfectly fine with that. They'll feel perfectly fine with doing what they do because, hey, most of society does not condemn, or most of society isn't aware to condemn that type of behavior. Most of society is confused and they don't know how diabolical this disorder is. So naturally, people go to giving benefits of the doubt. But nonetheless, the behaviors are consistent. And these behaviors affect and impact many because they're careless, they're reckless, they're without thought, they're without consideration to others. And in that instance, the narcissist is only thinking of themselves, as you all know, about what agenda they want to have carried out and played out to paint the picture of whatever narrative they're trying to paint. As long as that objective is being fulfilled or served or perceived, they're good with that. Not caring about the outcome or how it's going to appear to them. They don't rationalize consequences, so to speak. So this is where a lot of you, with your encounters and dealings with the narcissist, came to that understanding that they didn't love you. They didn't care for you. It was all about them. And the moment things stop being about them, they have to get your attention back again, or they have to get others' attention. And as we know, negative attention is just as good as positive attention to a narcissist. But it's about getting the focus on them. So you as a normal person that may look at this and say, this is bad, this is crazy what the narcissist is doing, and things that a narcissist may have done to you, you would think like, no way they could be comfortable with that, even if it puts them in a bad light. But they're fine with that. They're fine with it because they somehow know that they will still have a supporting cast backing their wild, outlandish behaviors. All right. And this is where it all starts, folks. It starts with the condemning and holding accountable for these, the accountability at least of these types of acts and behaviors. That's where it starts. It's not for people to make excuses or to, you know, think it's cute or anything like that or have sympathy. It's for the accountability. That's all. It's not about bashing. We don't have to bash a narcissist. We don't have to talk down on them. We're just looking for the accountability. And so, again, if you have encountered a narcissist and dealt with them, yeah, as you know, when you try to hold them accountable, they're going to project back to you that perhaps you're the narcissist. In fact, you are the narcissist is what they're going to say. All of the things that they are, they're going to adamantly insist that that's what you are. And you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to be, going back and forth. You're going to be going in circles. And again, a lot of the things that narcissists do when they're doing it don't make sense because they're not thinking rationally. They're only looking for the effect or the reaction that they're going to get. That's all they're focused on. And so when these things happen, they realize that at certain points that they got in over their head, but at that point, all of the damage is done and so forth. And now it's time to hide and play victim. It's time to turn the sympathy card on and get people to sympathize now. This happens a lot, folks. And it's because there's a lot of naive people. We all were once naive with dealing with narcissists and being in these situations. Yeah, we all have been that naive person. But knowledge is about exercising it, not just having it, putting it to use. And without it being put to use, it's easier for a lot of these instances, even with, again, I'm not saying that she's a narcissist or anything because I don't know her. I'm only judging based on what I've been seeing, at least through the conferences and the reports and stuff like that, that if in fact this is what if what they're saying is consistent with the truth, this is, again, outlandish, egregious, devious, and mischievous behavior. But hey, this goes on all the time. She's not the only one. She's just a small drop in an ocean of this type of behavior and these type of things going on. And they go unchecked. They go unnoticed. Right? And especially if the reasoning for why she did this was to get back at an ex that she was with, even more so. But hey, it wouldn't surprise me because all of the behaviors are lining up with that spoiled, entitled individual, which a lot of narcissists are, that feel that they can do, say, get away with whatever they want. But it's time for people to start paying attention to these things, being aware of the behaviors when you see it, identifying it properly, and realizing that this is a form of a disturbed or mentally disordered individual. All right. This isn't schizophrenia, bipolar that we're talking about. when we're discussing these types of behaviors. Those two individuals, schizophrenia, bipolar, when they're having those manic episodes or lapses in those psychotic lapses, they're completely, especially the schizophrenic, because those two mental illnesses, they're not disorders, or chemical imbalances. They can't control that if they're not medicated. They can't control anything about that. In fact, when they're detached from reality, they can't properly scheme and plot and all those things, because they don't know what they're doing. They're not even in their right mind. They don't even know if they're themselves. They'll take on the character of someone or something else. They're totally detached from reality, and that's why they're able to claim insanity. But in regards to mental disorders, cluster Bs, borderlines, narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, they're not totally detached from reality, and they do know what they're doing. They do have the ability to reason, scheme, plot, concoct, come up with whatever they're going to come up with to do what they do, and they know what they're doing. That's the difference. And that's why the argument for insanity for them is not given. Right? That's why they're still held accountable. As many of you know, like years ago, the movie theater shooter and somewhere in Colorado, the Aurora movie theater shooter, he got held accountable. They didn't find him insane, right? Just because you have this mental lapse and you're hurt or whatever's going on does not give you the right to take someone's life, antagonize someone, etc. So it's up to people to really understand this and educate themselves and really have a good understanding of how these things play out and what you're looking for. And you'll be able to spot it when you see it. Anyway, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Till next time, have a good one.